Video, we are going to be looking at easy ways of identifying adjectival phrases and clauses and how to state their functions. Identifying phrases and clauses is usually one of the questions asked in comprehension passages in WAEC, NECO, and NABTEB. These questions are usually number G, and they come into sections G1 and G2. To be able to identify adjectival phrases and clauses, you must be able, first of all, to define what the following are: a sentence, a phrase, a clause, subordinate to dependent clause, or main/independent clause. As these will help you go a long way in the course of this video. Now let's look at what a sentence is. A sentence contains a main/independent clause or subordinate/dependent clause. A main or independent clause can stand on its own, but a subordinate or dependent clause cannot stand on its own. But we have to depend on the main/independent clause to be able to stand on its own. Now let's look at phrase. A phrase is a group of words that does not contain a finite verb, whereas a clause is a group of words that contains a finite verb. You must also note that whatever expression that is underlined given to you in the passage will either be a phrase or a clause. If the given expression contains a verb, it is called an adjectival clause. But if it does not contain a verb, it is called an adjectival phrase. You should also note that all adjectival clauses and adjectival phrases are also referred to as relative clauses or relative phrases, and they are usually introduced with the following relative pronouns: that, they, that, who, whose, which, and whom. That, who, whose, which, and whom. Adjectival clauses modifies nouns and also modifies pronouns, and they also can be called dependent/subordinate clauses. That means they cannot stand on their own. They have to depend on the main clause or the independent clause to be able to stand on their own. Having said all this, we are now going to look at a question which we are going to use as our example. The question reads: everybody was impressed with the feat which went along with the hilarious drumming. And in that particular question, the underlined aspect is which went along with the hilarious drumming. Which went along with the hilarious drumming. From the above given expression, the question that will be asked as question G1, GI, is: state the grammatical name for the underlined expression. State the grammatical name for the underlined expression. Now, when you see a question like this, the first thing you have to do is to find out if the expression begins with a relative pronoun. And if it does, like we have in the question above, which is the relative pronoun, your answer will now be referred to as an adjectival clause. That is, the group of words underlined contains a finite verb, while on the other hand, if the group of words underlined does not contain a finite verb, your answer will be an adjectival phrase. But for the above example we have, it has a relative pronoun, which is which. The expression above has a main stroke independent clause plus a subordinate stroke dependent clause. Now let's look at the second part of the question, which is G Roman figure 2. The first one we answered was G Roman figure 1. Where the question is asked is state the function. State the function. And to state the function, you have to look at the underlined expression to find out if it is a phrase or a clause by identifying if there is a verb or not. And from the answer above, it has a verb, and so the function is it modifies the noun fit. So because the clause begins with relative pronoun which, it can only modify the noun it comes after, and that noun is fit and is in the main clause of that sentence. That being said, we have looked at the very easy way of identifying adjectival phrases and clauses and stating their functions. For you to master the art of identifying adjectival phrases and clauses and stating their functions, follow the steps treated in this video, and you would find out that it's actually as easy as ABC. I'll see you in my next video. Subscribe to my channel, like and share with family and friends. Bye bye.